Taking Flight. I am Jerry Hunt. I'm the Director of Public Information here at Rockingham Community College. While we're at college, we do work a lot with high school students, trying to get them into the right pathway to their future. In that vein, we have guests today, Sharon Galloway and Chandra Cable. If y'all can let us know what y'all's titles are and a little bit about what y'all do with the school system.
Hello, I am Chandra Cable, Director of Educational Partnerships, and I work with what's known as Career and College Promise, which we'll talk a little bit more about in just a moment, which encompasses the Rockingham Early College High School and working with students in our traditional high schools, private schools, and home schools.
And I am Sharon Galloway. I am a CTE Director in the high schools as well as a career coach. I work 1 day a week at each of the 4 traditional high schools, helping students figure out their career pathways or their options that they have, introducing them to our dual enrollment options, and just getting to know them and understanding them better to see what other type of resources we have to offer them.
All right, well, Sharon, you mentioned dual enrollment, so tell me a little bit about what that is.
So dual enrollment allows a high school student to actually take a college credit, earn a college credit while being in high school.
Okay.
We have some classes that are actually, our faculty is actually on the Rockingham County High School campuses, and they actually teach face-to-face. Students have also the option to take some online classes as well as meet what we call virtual sync. It's sort of like a Zoom,
Right.
where they meet them at the specific time of the scheduled class.
Okay. All right. So what is Career and College Promise?
Career and College Promise is the state of North Carolina's dual enrollment program. In January of 2012, the program began, and prior to that, the public may have known it as Jump Start. That was a very popular term for a while. But in 2012, the state decided that they wanted to have more prescribed pathways. They wanted students to work towards something. Prior to that, students could just take a hodgepodge of classes. Now, under what is known as Career and College Promise, there are 3 avenues for students to receive college credit. One is known as the college transfer pathway, and in that pathway, the students can earn transferable college credits. They are transferable to all of our UNC system schools and several private and independent colleges and universities within the state of North Carolina.
Right.
The other opportunity is what is known as career and technical education, and career and technical education has different courses of study underneath it, where students can earn a credential, they can earn just experience toward work, or even a diploma.
Right. Okay.
And then what has been around since 2008 is the Rockingham Early College High School, where students come, and this is their official high school here on campus.
Right. Right. Yeah, we see those students walking through campus all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes it's hard to tell who's college and who's high school around here.
Absolutely.
Of course, they're taking college classes, so they technically are college students too.
They are, hence the term dual enrollment.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I mean, when we have graduation ceremonies, and I'm taking pictures and I'm talking to a lot of the graduates as they're walking out of the gymnasium. It's amazing how many of them, I don't even realize it until, unless they start mentioning, well, I got my diploma, my high school diploma too. So that is just incredible.
Yes.
Awesome.
So how do you help students, high school students, in planning for what their future is going to be?
So career coaches were placed on each of the 4 high school campuses, like I said, to help students identify their career goals and pathways, and to also help align it with what RCC has to offer.
Right.
So I work with a great team with the counselors, the career development coordinators, the college advisors, and other staff at the school to help meet with the students, see what their interests are, see what, to make sure they are aware of the resources we have to offer, the classes that we're offering, and just kind of have a better understanding of what it is or what goal they are actually trying to reach.
Right.
So while we're trying to identify the different programs and things that we have at RCC to see if it's an option for them.
Right, right. So you're full-time in the high schools.
So I meet on Mondays at Rockingham High School. On Tuesdays, I'm at Dalton McMichael High School. On Wednesdays, I'm at Moorhead. And on Thursdays, I'm at Reidsville High School.
Okay.
So 1 day a week, but it's a very busy day. We have the opportunity to meet students by appointment. We've been doing some class presentations. We started doing some lunch and learn sessions for our high school students. So they pretty much, I'm involved with them. Like I said, we're a great team.
Right.
And they include me, and we just work together to try to reach the students.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and I mean, most people are familiar with having like a high school counselor, you know,
Yes.
that's all the students are talking with. So how do you fit into that?
So when a student comes to a high school counselor, because that's who they need to talk to
Right.
first, to make them aware, because of the scheduling with the high schools. They have to make sure that they have all their core classes to graduate, just meet everything that they need
Right.
for the graduation requirements. They express to their counselor that they are interested, or the counselor introduces them and makes them aware of what we have to offer
Right.
to see if they're actually a good candidate for it, to be eligible.
Yeah.
And then they schedule an appointment with me, or sometimes I'm just included in on the conversation because I'm there,
Right.
and then we can just talk about it to see how it fits and make the students aware of what they don't even know is out here for them. So
Right. Yeah.
we just, sometimes it's a lot about seeing what they're interested in doing, but a lot of them don't know.
Right.
They say, some of them do, pretty much. They're pretty sharp and already have a plan and know this is what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to do this.
Right.
But to try to help them align things. So that's where the career assessments come in at too. So
Right.
we do like a value assessment. We have personality assessment, a work ethic to see what they value, what they're interested in doing. Because I often tell the students, if it's a field that you're saying you want to go in, and it's more personable, if you don't have a good personality, that's probably not the field for you.
Right.
If you don't like working with your hands, then let's choose something or kind of see what it is that you're more interested in, so
Right.
we can tailor that. So, again, just working with them on a day-to-day basis, getting to know them for who they are
Right.
and what they're actually interested in doing.
Right.
And for me, encompassed in my role is the liaison duties to the Rockingham Early College High School.
Okay.
So I'm in day-to-day contact with our high school counselor here. I too work with the college advisor, and as a team, we help these students determine whether or not they're going to pursue associate in arts, associate in science, and these students also have the opportunity to pursue our career and technical education programs here as well. We're actually currently working on an opportunity for the early college students to have the opportunity to do our Nurse Aid 1, which right now, they're the only high school in the county, traditional high school in the county, that doesn't have that option.
Right.
So we're working on providing that option for them. We have students that'll go into welding, they'll go into air conditioning, heating and refrigeration, criminal justice.
Right.
So they have the same opportunity within the early college. In terms of the counselors and college advisors, CDCs at the traditional schools, I'm not in the schools on a weekly basis, but we do have a period each semester
Right.
where we are in the schools just for academic advising, preparing for the next semester.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
so typically it's October in preparation for spring, and it is March in preparation for fall.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the college transfer pathways.
Sure. The college transfer pathways are designed for students to have the opportunity to get what is referred to as general education courses. The state refers to them as universal general education transfer component classes. They call them UGETSs for short. Little catchy term. When a student graduates, the way that I explain it to students and parents is when you go to college, your first 2 years, approximately what equates to about 60 credit hours, they're going to be more English, more science, more social sciences, and those type of classes. The pathways are designed to help you get you have an opportunity to get at least 30 of those out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So they're gen ed
Right.
opportunities, and they're geared toward areas, not a specific major. So the area would be associate in arts, because that would be an arts-related major
Okay.
on most UNC campuses.
Right.
And of course, if they say medical, associate science would be where we would
Right.
direct them. Nursing, associate degree nursing.
Right.
We also have pathway that is in fine arts, visual arts, associate in arts, fine arts, visual arts for those that are interested in art majors. And just this year, we added 2 more, associate in science teacher prep and associate in arts teacher prep. So
Okay.
if someone says, I'm interested in being an English teacher, then we would have the opportunity to kind of steer those students toward that.
Right. Okay.
So lots of opportunities underneath the college transfer
Right.
pathway.
Okay. All right. So these when they're taking these classes in one of these pathways and they're in high school, we already have a course sequence set up. So they pretty much know.
Yes, the classes are prescribed.
mhm.
There's a list of classes for each pathway, and that's what the students choose from.
Right. Okay.
Any once they are eligible and for the program, any classes that are part of that pathway, they can take.
Okay. All right. So the whole other half of this is the CTE, or Career and Technical Education Pathways.
Yes. So right now we currently have 10 CTE pathways that students can take apart. And I like to tell the students that this is an opportunity for you to jumpstart your career, to actually see if this is something that you're interested in doing versus planning to go to a 2-year or 4-year school to pursue this, and then you don't really, this is something I don't really want to do.
Right.
So right now we have agribusiness technology, we have business administration, criminal justice, HVAC, which is the heating and air, refrigeration, early childhood, web technologies, welding, manual machining, which is actually at Reedsville High School, and we have some criminal justice classes at Rockingham High School too, face to face. The manufacturing technology, and then we have new emergency medical science pathway. So it's an EMS that we just added recently for students that are interested. As long as everything works with or aligns with the high school schedule, they can participate in these classes.
Right.
And they can earn a credential if they complete all of the classes within the pathway.
Okay.
So another thing I like to make students aware of, that if you complete this CTE pathway, you actually have an opportunity to participate with our graduation as well.
Right.
So we had a few that participated last year. They were very excited to actually come here and participate with RCC's graduation as well as their high school graduation.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a great opportunity for them. So with the CTE pathways, some of them align with what they offer on the career technical education side in the high schools. So work very closely with the CDC's career development coordinators in the high schools to kind of funnel through to see how it aligns and get these students that are interested in taking. They have a lot of great options at for Rockingham County Schools on the CTE side.
Right.
So just kind of aligning them and making sure they kind of flow and giving the students an opportunity to earn college credit
Right.
as well.
So they could be in high school taking like welding and end up with a certificate
Yes.
while they're in high school.
Yeah, by taking these 4 or 5, I think Welding has 5 classes that they take. So
Right.
it's only 4 or 5 classes in it. It's for juniors and seniors. That of course they have to be eligible, and that's what we talk to them about. And the good thing about it as well is that a student can actually be in a college transfer pathway and in one CTE pathway.
Okay.
So if they start in 11th grade, they have a lot. We have
Right.
a lot to offer to them. Or if they're not interested in college transfer and they say, I just want to do a trade. I'm just interested in this. I've had students that have done the manual machining at Reedsville
Right.
and now are interested in the welding, or vice versa.
Right.
So they have the option to do 2 CTEs or 1 CTE and 1 college transfer.
Right. Okay. So is web technologies at McMichael High School?
Yes.
Okay.
So actually, we were gonna offer that face to face. The interest hasn't been what we anticipated so far, but we're still pushing at trying to offer some classes, and we always have online options.
Right.
So the students still have access to the classes.
Right.
It's just a matter of, like I said, aligning the things with the high schools.
Right.
To make sure.
Right.
Over there, they have a STEM program. And the robotics and stuff, and that's where the interest is
Right.
with those high school students.
Yeah.
So again, I love working with the students, and they they imagine so many different things, and they love working with the hands.
Right.
And just to hear the different programs that they're interested, we ain't gonna always fit it perfect to what they want, but maybe it can kind of introduce them to a little something to get expose them to see if it's something they want to pursue.
Right. Okay. So, so with like manual machining at Reedsville High and criminal justice, right here in Wentworth at Rockingham County High School, if there's a student at another school that wants to be in that program, are they transferring fully to that school, or are they just going for those classes?
No, they're just going for the classes.
Okay.
So right now, the manual machining classes is in the fall. It's first period. That's when the classes are held face to face at Reedsville, and then in the spring it's first and second period.
Okay.
But we currently have 3 students from Moorhead High School that are in that class at Reedsville, and 1 student from Rockingham.
Okay.
So it's a great group of students, and I have asked if students were interested in coming face to face to Rockingham to take the criminal justice, if we could get permission, and they said yes. So students do have the option to take the classes.
Right.
We just have to make sure, again, this is where our team comes in at, that we communicate with our counselors.
Right.
So everybody knows where the students are, when they're supposed to come back,
Right.
and how it aligns with what they have on the high school schedule.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it also might be worth noting that we also have some of those college transfer courses also being taught in the high schools.
Okay.
Currently at McMichael, we have our pre-cal algebra and pre-cal trig combination taught fall and spring. We have our Spanish 111 and 112 taught fall and spring. At Moorhead High School, we have the pre-cal algebra and pre-cal trig combination fall spring.
Right.
Rockingham, same thing, pre-cal algebra, pre-cal trig, fall spring. We also have public speaking being taught there as well. And at Reedsville High School, we currently have our statistics class being taught there fall and spring. There's also some opportunities for those students to do, right now it's in the Virch Sync format where they can Zoom for each of those high schools.
Right.
We have a sociology, introduction to sociology class that's there at each, available to each high school during 4th block.
Right.
And we also have a calculus class for those that have already finished pre-cal algebra, pre-cal trig. That's available right now during 2nd block.
Right.
Video
Okay.
conference.
All right. Are we still teaching over at Bethany? Is that part of what y'all are doing?
So yes, we are still at Bethany.
Okay.
Bethany, of course, is it's a public charter, but not part of our Rockingham County
Right.
schools. But currently, there is History 131 and 132, the American History 1 and 2 combination,
Right.
and the English Composition 111 and 112 being taught there in the afternoons.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, is there anything that I'm not asking about that I should be?
Well, as we were talking, I just realized when you asked about college transfer, we've talked about being eligible, but we have not actually said what what being eligible is. So that may be something good to share. If you're listening, you're like, are they going to tell us how to be eligible? I'll speak on college transfer, and Ms. Galloway can talk about CTE. College transfer for our juniors and seniors, it's pretty straightforward. You have to have a high school unweighted GPA of a 2.8 or better, or you have to demonstrate college readiness in English, reading, and mathematics on an approved assessment. The approved assessments are determined by the state, and they are PSAT, SAT, ACT, or a student could come here to RCC and do our RISE placement test to determine that. We do have an option for 9th and 10th graders to do college transfer classes. However, their requirements are very, very strict. They do have to be AIG, academically gifted, in both the English and the math. They have to demonstrate college readiness on the assessments. They have to have recommendations from the AIG coordinator, if there is one.
Right.
The high school principal has to give an attestment statement that they are mature enough to handle it.
Right.
So they can, but it's a lot more involved.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So as far as CTE, that's the same with 11th and 12th graders. currently there aren't any options for 10th graders for
Okay.
on the CTE
Okay.
side. But sometimes we can be a little bit, I don't want to use the word lenient, but we can look at the student a little closer.
Right.
If their GPA is below a 2.8,
Mhm.
because you may have had a student that had a rough semester,
Mhm.
you know, had something go on the year prior to,
Right.
and they just didn't do as well, and they're not quite at that 2.8.
Mhm.
So that's when we will again talk with the counselors,
Mhm.
talk with the principal,
Right.
and there's some additional documentation where we can see if the principal feels like this is a strong student, this is a
Mhm.
student that's interested in a particular field,
Right.
they're good with their hands, this is something they're looking to pursue after high school,
Mhm.
just to give them an opportunity.
Right.
We all need opportunities in life, and
Mhm.
so this is what it does. So that's
Right.
why I tell you it's just an opportunity for you to jumpstart your career to
Mhm.
see. So with that being said, we have a documentation that the principal has to fill out, a
Mhm.
principal recommendation
Right.
form, and then they have to maintain that grade and
Uh-huh.
keep, and we monitor them and kind of stay close to them to see this is what
Right.
that you are doing well in this class.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Well, that's great that it's not just a hard and fast.
Yes.
You know, that we can really take some other things into account.
Right. Yes.
All
Mhm.
right. Well, so how can parents or students get enrolled?
So students can meet with their counselors.
Mhm.
Again, we are at various different events through the schools.
Mhm.
They had open houses. We attended the open house sessions. I'm there once a week, like I said. We go to the parent nights that the schools are offering. That they always allow us an opportunity to come in and have a table,
Right.
and we're very thankful for that. You'll see me, or sometimes you'll see us at the sporting events where we can go to.
Right.
We have a table. The college advisor and I are, we've been talking about trying to do some football games, and so parents can come to the table and talk to us there. But they can also follow me on social media. I currently have a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter account, and so I try to post different pictures and different things on
Right.
there and information, but they can also follow me on that. So the Twitter is career_coach_SG, and then the Facebook and Instagram is the same, and they can follow me at rcc.ccp.
Okay.
So they could do that to kind of check out some information. But by all means, the school has our contact information. If it's typically a student that wanting to do college transfer, they know to contact Ms. Cable or myself if I'm at the school. But
Right.
me and Ms. Cable, great team. We work well together.
Mhm.
We try to see as many as we can.
Right.
And we try to reach as many as we can. And so the parents can definitely contact us through the school or through our emails at RCC.
Right.
And I think I would add to that, because we do have, we have students that attend from Bethany as well as Community Baptist, and we do have a homeschool population that also attends classes. So go to our website, and from our homepage, it's rockinghamcc.edu. Across the top, you will see our I am, and if you click I am and click on high school, it'll take you directly to our page, and there's information there that talks about the enrollment process. So I would definitely suggest that you go there, and it outlines if you are a student at one of the Rockingham County schools, this is what you do. If you're homeschooled, this is what you do. If you're a junior or senior, this is what you do. If you're a freshman or sophomore, this is what you do. So I strongly encourage them to do that as well.
It's like a one-stop shop right there for all the information.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, I thank y'all both for being here today, and hopefully you'll get some people contacting you based on this. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.